The root of all suffering is attachment. This is coming from Buddha. And I want you to understand what I mean by detaching with love. Detachment is not the absence of love and not caring about somebody, but it's the ability to take care of yourself and prioritize yourself and honor yourself in the midst of someone else's choices and the consequences of their choices without you having to be caught up in their storm. And there couldn't be a better day to start focusing on learning how to detach with love from people, places, things, and situations in your life than on Valentine's Day. Use today as your restart, your refresh to reclaim your life and your joy and your inner peace and your abundance. Let's do this thing. Love is in the air. Do, 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 do. Love is in the air. You're welcome. I have this song stuck in my head from my grocery store trip this morning. Happy Valentine's Day. So that you don't come for me, because this happened last year. People were so pissed when they couldn't get in at the last minute to my annual event, 3 days to make bank online in your business. We reach max capacity now every year. There is a limitation on how many people we can let in order for me to be able to do this for free. If I made it unlimited, I would have to charge. And as of right now, I want to be able to give you this jump start in being able to monetize your gifts, passions, and talents online. Yes, this is perfect for you if you're starting from scratch. Yes, this is perfect for you if you already have an established business, whether it's a product based business, a service based business, whether you have a professional designation, whether you have a storefront, even a restaurant, you're a realtor. If you are not taking advantage of content marketing in order to build additional revenue streams, additional lead generators online while you go about your day and you're doing other things, you are missing out on hundreds and hundreds, and I would even dare to say millions of dollars. This is voted on now for the second year in the row by Forbes as being the most lucrative skill that you can learn. And that would be content and digital marketing, learning how to message and craft offers so that people are eager and excited to buy from you in a fun, non-manipulative, engaging way. And that's what I specialize in. And that is what you'll be learning inside 3 days to make bank. Plus, we are doing $15,000 in giveaways. So all you got to do, secure your spot, is go to projectmewithtiffany.com/make bank. Swipe up. It's in the show notes. It's also here in the description on YouTube and in the links in my bio on TikTok and on Instagram at Project Me with Tiffany. The other thing is we have a few new member spots that are open, which they rarely come open inside my famous Project Me Posse business coaching membership. So you get weekly live trainings from me and other special guest experts, an incredible membership portal with hundreds and hundreds of trainings. And everything is designed to get you from zero to consistent $15,000 a month in your business and beyond. We have people from all different specialties in there. People don't leave because there is nothing out there that is this highly valuable, this supportive, this genuine, this straightforward, that's on the market for this price point. I've added an annual option, so that makes this like $2 a day. Okay. So you want to commit for a year. And that's also sending a signal to the universe. I'm committing to myself. I'm committing to my growth. I'm committing to my business, and it'll get you to show up. So you have the annual option. And then I also have a month to month option. That link is also in the show notes in the description, projectmewithtiffany.com/Project Me Posse, and go grab a spot and see what it's all about. Or you continue to trying to figure this out on your own, wishing, hoping, kicking the can down the road. And then we'll be in June or July and you'll have not progressed substantially forward in your business or in your bank account. And I don't want that for you. It's really crazy to me when I think about how many people think that they can end up manifesting what they want in their life just on sheer wishing alone? Nowhere does it say this in any law of attraction or genuine manifestation literature or any abundance mindset literature from the beginning of time. Yet somehow this has gotten into some people's heads because it sounds like the easy way. But do you really want to do something in a way where you feel like you're kind of cheating a system? If something's a shortcut, you're going to get whack-a-mole with it, I promise. Because anytime where I've kind of gotten a little greedy and entitled and thought I could like take a little shortcut and go over here and it seems like it's working, I always end up having like a karma response where I lose money in some other area of my life or time or energy in some other area of my life. So just be careful with that stuff. Welcome, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies. It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. I get this question often, especially over on TikTok, and it's how can I stay in a space of trust, stay in a space of faith, stay in a space of confidence, and not be so worried about the timing? Like, why aren't the clients here? Why isn't my business growing? Why aren't my socials growing? Why aren't people signing up? Where is the guy? Where is my wife? Where is my weight loss? Where is the support? Where are all the things? Why isn't this happening? And then you get so upset and so angry and so frustrated and so demotivated, and then you end up in a paralysis type state because your energy is just so beaten down that you don't have that wherewithal, that drive to actually show up and do the mundane tasks, do the ordinary tasks, do the less sexy tasks, do the uncomfortable tasks, do the work that's required in order for you to have the life that you want. We have to set it up so that you are in a space and the best space possible to co-create, to co-manifest with the universe. Because if you're dragging ass, the universe will drag ass. It is going to match your energy. And there's proof of this that has happened to you, guaranteed, in your life and in my life too. Have you noticed that when you're in a good space, you've been really focusing on your spirituality, your inner peace, you've been taking care of yourself, and like things start clicking, right? The trees look a little brighter, the birds are chirping and you notice them, more people smile at you and say hello. You have ideas that come to you easier. You feel like your skin and your hair looks a little better that day. You get a parking spot easier. That is not random. That is because you are making sure that you are keeping your side of the street and your spiritual house clean, and then the universe is matching that. Now, is it possible every single day to be in this magical little cocoon of a spot? No, but you can't leave it by chance. You can't just go, oh, okay, well, I'll just I'm in this mood this day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm cunty today. I'm PMSy. My husband did this, this happened with the kids, and allow yourself to be blown all over the place by your feelings. I'm not saying to ignore your feelings, but feelings aren't necessarily facts. Feelings are fleeting. And if we lean into these feelings that can change, at least if you're someone like me, which I'm sure you are, my feelings can change 25 times in an hour sometimes. And if we allow ourselves to get blown around like that, what do you think your results are going to be in the abundance area of your life? All over the map. It's going to be a disaster. There's not going to be any consistency. There's not going to be any grounded stability in it. But you can only do what you control. We can't control our hormones. We can't control certainly what other people do and other circumstances and things in life, but you can control your attachment to these things. You can control your reaction to these things. You can control how you respond to these things. So that's what I'm taking you through in this episode, is my detachment technique to accelerating your manifestations. So it's a little bit of a mind fuck, so I want you to bear with me on it. When it comes to the stuff that we want, anything in life, this can involve another person. This is love. This is money. This is business. This is anything, you name it. A job opportunity, a client, anything, a house, whatever. I need you to really take a clear assessment of your expectations. I have to remind myself of this regularly, and my therapist reminds me of this regularly, as does my life coach. My expectations, and we all do it, can come in very sneaky, where we expect because we've helped a friend through a difficult period, or a family member through a difficult period, or because we're always there. There's these unwritten expectations and unspoken expectations that they'll do the same for you. It's kind of like the shoulds. Yeah, that'd be fucking nice, right? That'd be great. And in a perfect world, yes, that's how it should be. But when we set it up that way, you are absolutely setting yourself up for future disappointment. So there's a line in my recovery program that I'm in that says expectations are set up for future resentments. You expect your significant other to operate a certain way, to do, at least acknowledge that it's Valentine's Day, to wake up the next morning after there was a disagreement and say that they're sorry. There's an expectation that someone who says that they want to work with you and they're really excited to work with you and they said yes, there's an expectation that they're going to pay the invoice. There's an expectation that you spend 2 hours crafting what you think is an award-winning video that absolutely should be your best performing video yet, that it's going to do well. Like, how could it not do well? And it is such a setup, because then what we're saying is, and if my expectations aren't met, then I'm going to feel blank. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to feel abandoned. I'm going to be let down. And we have no control over what an algorithm does, over what a person does, what a situation, a client, whatever. We can stack the odds in our favor that things are going to have better, healthier results, right? By setting boundaries with people, by being in my ProjectME Posse membership and learning how to do messaging and how to create content that converts, and how to name and price your offers and services so that people are eager and excited to buy. But there is still no guarantee that your expectations are going to be met every single time. Period. End of story. I mean, look at all these people who have even sold their businesses for billions of dollars, right? And they're a big public figure. They have a giant audience, all of this stuff, and the product's actually good. That does not mean that everyone actually likes it and has a good experience with the brand. In fact, these people have hate pages dedicated to their products. There's tons of negative reviews. If we use Skims as an example, Kim Kardashian's line, there's thousands and thousands of negative reviews. You cannot please everyone. There is always going to be someone who says that's too expensive, even if it's $5, right? And here's something that's even funnier, because I know a lot of you guys do this in your business when it comes to free, or you do it in your personal life, whether you realize it or not, but now you're going to by listening to this episode, where you overgive, you're super accommodating and helpful because it's like, I'm kind of doing this consciously, subconsciously, that how could someone not love me? How could someone not reciprocate? How could someone abandon me? How could someone leave me? How could someone not marry me? How could someone not, you know, have me in their wedding? How could how could someone not hire me if I'm jumping through all these hoops, going the extra mile all the time, doing all the things, saying yes, 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 because you're in an attempt of trying to control the outcome and trying to control, a circumstance, a person, or a situation. And it's impossible to do that. And then in the meantime, you are exhausting yourself, you're depleting yourself, you're filled with resentment, you're filled with disappointment, you're filled with all sorts of icky feelings. And now you are emotionally and energetically dragged down, and you have just repelled the very things that you want. It's not hot. It's a very needy, codependent energy. And I want to read this to you from one of my favorite codependency books, Language of Letting Go on Detachment. Okay. The concept of letting go can be confusing to many of us when we are doing too much or trying too hard to control people and outcomes, when we are doing too little. When is what we're doing an appropriate part of taking care of ourselves? What is our responsibility and what isn't? These issues can challenge us whether we've been working on this for 10 days or 10 years. Sometimes we may let go so much that we neglect responsibility to ourselves and others. Other times we may cross the line from taking care of ourselves to controlling others and outcomes. There is no rule book, but we don't have to make ourselves crazy. We don't have to be so afraid. We don't have to do it perfectly. If it feels like we need to do a particular action, we can do it. If no action feels timely or inspired, don't act on it. Having and setting healthy limits, healthy boundaries isn't a tidy process. We can give ourselves permission to experiment, to make mistakes, to learn, to grow. We can talk to people, ask questions, and question ourselves. If there's something we need to do or learn, it will become apparent. Lessons don't go away. If we're not taking care of ourselves enough, we'll see that. If we're being too controlling, we'll grow to understand that too. Things will work out. The way will become clear. Today, I will take actions that appear appropriate. I will let go of the rest. I will strive for the balance between self responsibility, responsibility to others, and letting go. All of this stuff will keep circling back. So if you keep experiencing the same pain, the same lessons, the same patterns of stuff happening in your life, whether it's with friendships, whether it's in your love life, whether it's with money, whether it's with business, whether it's with weight or your health, it's because the lessons will just keep repeating until you make a concrete change to say, I am going to really take a serious look at this and change how I'm responding to situations, change my part of this pattern, and really own your part in it. So I want you to lovingly take a look at what is causing you pain in your life. I'm sure there's a person that's come to your mind right now, or a situation. Maybe you're in a feast or famine pattern with your business. Either it's all great or you're scrambling for money and you're like, what am I going to do? Or you have this procrastination thing. You do the all or nothing. I'm doing all these things. I'm very productive. And then I do nothing. I want you to first start right now by acknowledging that and saying, you know what? I see what's not working. I am sitting in hope all the time. I'm hoping and constantly wishing. That's a red flag, right? I'm hoping this person will start doing this or stop doing this. I'm wishing more clients will come in. I'm wishing more people will buy my stuff. That's not a plan. I'm not saying you can't have those thoughts and feelings, or nothing wrong with that, but that's not enough. That's not going to get you where you want to go. I need you to go, okay, I need to detach from being in that state of wishing and hoping something will change in order for me to be okay. What is it that I can do that's in my control in order to have the best outcome that I want? Where can I take radical responsibility for my side of the street in my relationships, in my business? Where can I detach? where I am detaching the need to have all these views, the need for someone to support me like I support them, the need for someone to call me back at a certain time, the need for this particular offering of mine to pay off, the need for my boss to apologize to me for something that happened. If you don't detach from that, what you're energetically saying and subconsciously saying to yourself in the universe is, I am not okay, and I will not be okay, and I will not be abundant, and I will not be whole, and I will not be of peace unless these things happen. And now you've put your control and your well-being and your abundance into all these things that are all outside of yourself. You will never get ahead and you will never win that way. In fact, it'll just slowly suck and drain your energy, and it's just not going to work. And then people will ask, well, how do I detach from the timing, Tiffany, when I need to be making this money to pay my bills and I hate my job and I need this to work and I need to quit my job? Or, oh my God, something's going on in my business and I was doing so well and now it's low and I need to have the clients come in and I have these people I'm paying and da 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 da. Okay, let's do a reframe. Instead of it being, I need, God, that needy energy it's so desperate and so loud, right? Let's take the need out, take that out of it. And even saying, like, I'm detaching from my own needy energy and say, this is what I would like to have happen. And here is what I can do on my side of the street, on my part, that is different. Here's where I can step up to the plate for this and set myself up and stack the odds in my favor, right? I like with my upcoming big launch that I do once a year, which is my signature program, Selling with Soul, right? I could sit here and go, I need to have my biggest launch ever, and it needs to be a 7-figure launch. And that's all out of ego. Me saying, I need to have this in order for me to feel it's worth it, in order for it to be okay, in order for me to buy another house, and da, 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 da. Instead, right, I want this to be an incredibly successful and lucrative launch filled with the most wonderful people who are eager and excited to be there and are humble and willing to learn and are so grateful and appreciative for the payment plans that I'm offering. So they're able to come in there, and the many, many years of wisdom that I'm sharing in my exact style and the heart that we pour into this program on the ProjectME team. That's what I would want. Okay. Then the next thing I would say to myself is, what can I do that's on my side of the street to best stack the odds in the favor that this is going to be that successful? And I need to take those actions, right? Whether that means I need to be putting out more high quality content, whether that means I need to start talking about my offering coming up sooner, which is something that I'm doing. What can I experiment with? Like I read in the Language of Letting Go reading, right? What is something I can experiment with? This year, I'm experimenting with doing TikTok ads for the first time, which has been really fun. I also went live on TikTok last night, which was crazy. There was like 41,000 people. It was insane. And it was totally random. I just trusted my gut and went very loosely, like, let's experiment with this. And we got a ton of people excited about the podcast, a ton of people signing up for 3 days to make bank from it, who are my ideal clients, and I had fun doing it. But if let's say I went on and it was a flop, or it didn't feel good to me, or no one was on there, or no one really signed up, well, that doesn't mean I go, well, I'm never doing that again. That's coming from a place of scarcity, of self-protection and hurt. And I know a lot of you do this in your personal life. I know because I've done it, and I have to be very conscious of doing it, where it's like you put yourself out there, you're there for someone, or you open up to somebody, or you express a boundary or a need from someone and they blow it off, or then they say they're going to adhere to it respectfully, but then they go ahead and do the same thing again. It's so disappointing. And often our first reaction, which is a feeling, which is normal, is fuck them. I'm never opening up to them again. I'm never talking to them again. I'm never dating again. I'm never going live again. I'm never doing this again. I'm never putting out an offer again. This doesn't work. And that's like that inner child of yours having this wild temper tantrum. I'm not into it. Right. And I do it. I catch myself. I still do it once in a while now. We're only human, but it doesn't work. I want you to regroup from that and go, what expectation did I set up here? What was I expecting? You attached an expectation to it. I expected just because I talked about it and I followed things that Tiffany talks about. And I really wanted it this time. And I really showed up this time. And I only got a couple clients, but then this happened. Okay, you had an expectation that just because you finally decided to fucking do the thing or take the risk or invest in yourself and in your business, and that all of a sudden everything you're just granted it all. That doesn't work like that. The universe is like, yeah, and the God is like, yeah, let's see. You don't get instant gratification. Once in a while, we get a bone thrown at us, but usually not, because that doesn't build any kind of a muscle. That'd be like expecting you went and did one workout, or you worked out for 1 or 2 weeks and you lost all the weight you gained over the holidays. Like that doesn't even make sense. But then there's people who have that expectation, which is why all these people who join gyms, buy gym equipment, buy fitness programs, meal programs, have already shit the bed on it. Literally, like 2 weeks into January, have already shit the bed. All the gyms are cleared out now from all the people who even bought year memberships of all different price ranges. I have a lot of people I coach and a lot of friends of mine who are, fitness coaches, have fitness programs and apps. You literally see it. I don't care how much money, how big their audience is. It's the same thing. These people all paid for it and they're already off. Why? Because they set up an expectation that I do this, that it's just the weight's gonna fall off. My energy is gonna come back, and they've done it for 2 weeks and they've put in work that's uncomfortable and hard and woke up and worked out when they didn't want to and showed up and did the uncomfortable stuff and were sore, and they're not getting whatever results they set themselves up that they expected, and then they quit. I see this happen over and over again in business. I see people do this in relationships, and it's a setup for failure, and you can stop it. I need you to go, I'm going to detach from my need to having instant results. I need to detach from my need to have external validation constantly that I'm doing the right thing, or that I'm getting constant payoffs for doing hard work and doing uncomfortable work and showing up. I'm going to detach from my expectation on that. I'm going to trust that I'm taking proper actions, and proper actions always yield proper results, because proper actions lead to proper thoughts, which leads to proper results. And the cycle goes on and on. And notice I said proper actions first, not proper thoughts first. Proper thoughts are nice, but that doesn't always lead to proper actions. A lot of people stay stuck in thinking and learning because it's safe there, reading all the books, listening to the podcasts, taking all the courses and programs, and never getting into action. It's proper action. I can go buy workout equipment. I can order a meal prep stuff. I can pin recipes. That means nothing if I'm not doing anything with it. I teach you guys all the things in the posse and my programs very clearly, very directly, keep it very simple and straightforward. And people will be like, so what guarantees do you offer? I can't guarantee you're going to take the actions. I can be supportive and hold you accountable and encourage you, but I can't make you take the actions. That's your job. That's your job to keep showing up. So I want you to take a detachment right now from expectations that you've had before. Just take them off. We don't need to have even an expectation. I am going to take proper actions that lead to proper thoughts, that lead to proper results in these areas of my life. And I'm detaching from what other people do. It's not a reflection of me. All I can do is do the best I can do on any given day and let go of the rest and allow people to show you what they're about, situations, clients, even when you're launching something. So what? Something doesn't work the first time. How many things work the first time? How many times? I mean, I don't cook, but I have baked. How many times, unless you're really following a recipe from a box, how many times is something amazing the first time you make it? Right? Like those recipes that are handed down from generations, those are so good, not because someone made it one time and here it is. It's because they've been massaged and refined over time, like my emotional day sales techniques that I take you guys through, which you'll experience those in the 3 days to make bank free live training event inside my posse and my signature program, Selling with Soul. Those are massaged and refined over 16 years of experimenting, tweaking, adding, removing, morphing. And that is why they work so well. Not because it was a result of me studying those and testing things in 1 year. Not to say that couldn't get you results of something I've done 1 year, but it's because of the time and attention and detail that was put in. So if you want you to be able to allow your manifestations to come in, you have to step out of the fucking way. You have to take all of that guck that's in there, your resentments, your disappointment, your hurt, and why are they not doing this? And this should be happening and that should be happening and da 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 da. Everyone knows, God knows, the angels know, spirit guides, universe, everyone knows what you deeply want as long as you've made that clear and you state it. The money, the love, the support, the health, the peace, all of it. So we already know. But if you do not detach and allow for the divine timing from something, and you make something, whether someone does something, someone buys, someone doesn't buy, your videos do well, your posts do well, your email, if you make that on any given day, on any one thing or one person, if you make that mean something and you're attaching a meaning to something, this means I'm succeeding. This means I'm failing. This means this person loves me. This means this person is healing. This means this person is working on themselves. This means this. This means that. This means we're going to get married. You're playing God. It doesn't mean anything. I need you to be, and when we're not detached and we're clinging on, you are snuffing out the abundance. You're strangling it. That's why I'm saying it's a needy energy. You're actually snuffing out the very things that you want to have happen in your life. And people can feel that energy even if you're kind of faking it, but there's passive aggressive stuff that you do with yourself that is nonverbal and verbal that people can feel because you're mad at them because they didn't meet your needs. You're mad at someone who said they're going to work with you, but they didn't pay the invoice. You're mad at Instagram because that algorithm's bullshit. Why put that energy out there? And that's okay if it happens initially. Of course, it's going to, but then let's retract back. Seems like I need to detach here. If you're feeling irritable, restless, discontent, exhausted, any lower vibe feeling, guaranteed you have some things that you need to detach from and then be honest with yourself on what are some things I can control in order to set myself up for the best possible outcome here. What can I do? And really explore, why am I so needy around this? And yeah, some of you listening might be, well, girl, I need cash. Like, well, I want money. Like, I want to leave this job. I need to divorce my husband. I need this to happen now. Yeah. Well, I got a little bit of honesty here for you. If you really need that to happen and it is that big of a thing, then are you really doing everything possible that's within your control in order to have that desired outcome? Are you walking dogs for extra money? Are you doing that extra post? Are you finding a way to invest in your business? Are you seeking proper guidance and counsel for areas of your life? Are you owning your shit? Are you keeping your spiritual house in order? Are you really? Because if you really had all of that going on and you were really taking all those proper actions with consistency, there is no way that you wouldn't start seeing results at a certain point. But I'm not saying you necessarily see them in a week, especially if you have a need to see them in a week. Do you see what I'm saying? You've got to remove the need. I mean, hey, Buddha said it himself, okay? Straight from Buddha's mouth around detachment. That's coming from that's coming from good old Buddha, okay? Not just from Tiff. It causes so much pain. It causes so much strife. It causes you to repel the very things that you want. So I want you to say, I detach from expectations and embrace the unfolding of life. I detach from my expectations and embrace the unfolding of life. This is the biggest, most loving gift you can give yourself, is to detach from all of that. Because, like Buddha said, the root of suffering is attachment. Therefore, the root of abundance is detachment. The root of inner peace is detachment. And you spent a lot of years being attached, having these expectations. So, no, is that going to happen overnight either? No, it's not. Right. Detaching from someone who brings you down is an act of self preservation and self honoring. It's not selfishness. Right. Detach from the need to be in control and trust the universe's plan for you. Detach from the need of having to have consistent external validation in order to keep going. I detach from this. I detach from this and insert it. And you will see how your life will unfold and change in such beautiful ways. And I still have to remind myself, mine is more so when it comes to people. It's your ego. It wants what it wants. It wants it now. It's like a kid having a temper tantrum in a grocery store. But I want the money now, and I want the love, and I want the security, and I want the certainty. How good does it feel to say, you know what, even just for today, I am going to detach from my expectations of other people, places, and things. I'm going to do that for today. How does that even feel in your body? Maybe you need to do it hour by hour. Let people be on their journey. Let life unfold how it's supposed to unfold as you continue to do the things that are in your control and show up and take actions and do the scary things and do the boring shit and do the uncomfortable shit and doing the stuff that brings you joy, and keep showing up and keep showing up and keep doing it. There is no way you can't succeed and have a beautiful life when you do that. The one thing I can guarantee is if you don't work on this, you will continue to reach a set point and coming right back to where you don't want to be. You might have, you might have good things happen, and then you'll come back to a set point over and over again. I've coached over 150,000 people worldwide. I've seen it happen over and over again, including my own life. And let's use today. What could be a better day to do the most loving act you can do for yourself and anyone in your life? Because believe me, you having expectations and being attached to anybody in your life, including your own children, you practicing this stuff and detaching is going to improve all of your relationships. And those that are meant to drift away and those that are not meant to be in your life right now, and those that are meant to like have a little hiatus, allow that to happen. Stop clutching on, because now you are creating all your own chaos in your life. Let me know if you love this episode. Go sign up for 3 days to make bank. And yes, I'm about to end that giveaway for my content creation made easy system in exchange for you leaving a written review of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, and put your name or Instagram handle or TikTok handle inside the review. Take a screenshot, email us at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. I will make sure those instructions are also in the show notes and in the description. And once we reach, I think it's like 1.5 thousand reviews, I'm stopping the giveaway. So we're almost there. We're super close. Thank you so much for all of your reviews. And I am opening this up to people who listen or watch on other platforms like YouTube or Spotify. So what you have to do, since you can't leave a written review on those platforms, you need to publicly do a review. So Instagram, TikTok, you need to tag me in there, sharing the show, and then you need to take a screenshot of that and email that to us at support@ProjectME with Tiffany. And then we will send you an email so you can get my content creation made easy system, which is $477, but you get it for free, and my high converting content planner. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.